The Apogee, and I'm calling it done. I could actually, I could keep picking at it, but I want to call it done. I like just the simplicity of it, and I kept it very simple, especially on the parts and all that. But anyway, I went in, I actually painted the whole thing haze gray, and then I went back in what I call Battlestar gray, which is a little lighter color than that. Airbrushed that on, and then I took a little bit of white with that color, and if you can see the different panels, I went in and just kind of shaded some random panels just to give it a little break up the gray monotony. And then back in the day, they like to use insignia red, and that's what I used. I masked off this part, and on the toy, it's actually stickers, and so I thought that would look cool the way it is with insignia red. Went in and see where I shaded a few places random. Doesn't have to be perfect or by no means, because it's going to hang in the ceiling. Plus I kind of want it more like the filming miniature, just background ship, insignificant. Ripped the stickers back off because they were just about to fall off anyway. You can see where they had a little water damage on there, but I like the effect it gives. I think it's unique for the stickers, so I just took some white glue and glued them back on to preserve them since they are original, and I think it looks pretty darn slick. Very, very fun. Shading, thing I like to use to shading, and I don't know if I show it a lot, I like to use inks. Inks are transparent. You can get different colors, greens, blues, all kinds. You can mix and match, and I think once the shading, it's not as thick as paint. When you do a little bit of post shading, that's why you can use an opaque paint if you wanted to make it darker. You can do it. You can do it with inks, but I like the different hue it gives on models when you use inks for shading. But anyway, that's just what I like to do. But anyway, very, very fun kit. Basically a dream come true from. I always wanted to make a ship out of the toys, so I want to go and take this to the hobby store. I'm going to go hang it in the ceiling. We'll hang it next to my big Battlestar, and that'll probably be it for hanging on the ceiling for a while. I mean, models. I try not to take over the ceiling, but I don't want to. I don't want to have too much hanging on there. I don't want to have the entire ragtag fleet. But anyway, very, very fun. So, and if you want to see more pictures of this, that's on social media. You can find me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff. So there should be pictures of that if you want to have some still pictures. The wildcat. So I've got pretty much all of it assembled. I got to go back in and sand a few things, but I did get the landing gear on, and got the engine and the engine cowl on, so we are really good to go. I got a few little parts to add, exhaust and a little bit of that, but other than that, most of the main parts are on, and I just got to go back in and sand, which I'm going to probably do this week once I get the workbench cleared off and get that ready to go to the hobby store. But anyway, Wildcat, very fun kit. I mean, it is basically the way I think models should be, simple. Two sprues basically, and you just put it together and it fits. So anyway, excellent kit. Looking forward to getting a little more done on that. The Big E, and one thing I have done is I got the gosh darn it, I can't lose that. Oh, I did get the bridge painted, and it's basically about three colors, two grays, a little black and red on there, and that's all I've done. And you're not going to see a whole lot because it's going to be up against the bridge dome. And I got the decals on. I went ahead with the bridge, the view screen. I did a little Klingon ship in there if you can actually see it. Just got the once I got it painted, I took a little bit of future and shot it with the airbrush, and you can tell where it's real glossy, and I'm going to probably knock that down with well, I don't have it, but Mr. Vallejo flat varnish, and I'll get it taken care of. But anyway, there is that. So bridge is done and it's ready to be put in. The shuttle bay, if I don't lose that here, I did get the shuttle painted, which is a kind of light ghost gray. Got the decals on. Got the decals on the shuttle bay itself, the floor. There's actually 4 or 6 door decals. Got them on. The only decal I didn't put on, there's supposed to be a 1701 that goes on the door. You're not going to see it, and I don't really want to fight it all the way in there. But anyway, I wanted to show this before I get a little further on. Is the I got the windows painted. You can see the white. That's actually, instead of me painting it white, I actually just made like a little bit of a wash and just washed in there a few times just to build up, because you're not going to see it too much, just basically the shadow of the frames. But I wanted to show that because I dug out the top part for the light, and you can see where I did wash on the sides here, which you really can't see them either. But I wanted to show all this because I'm at the point where I'm going to have to glue the shuttle in, glue that down, and then I'll be able to put that in the main body. But anyway, I wanted to show all that before I get a little further along. One thing I got to point out, since the shuttle bay is going to be open, I want to glue that down. You'll never be able to remove the shuttle unless you go in there with a sharp object and cut it off. So it's going to be in there permanent, and I wanted to show it, the actual inside before we get a little farther ahead. Then the next couple updates on the Enterprise is going to be a little bit boring because I am going to be doing a little bit of light blocking, basically taking gray, spray that first, and then taking black and spray on top of that, and then we should be pretty good. Most of the time I like to leave the plastic alone. I like to light block on the outside because I like the glow of the plastic, but that's usually on smaller kits. Bigger kits, you kind of have to do the opposite, but anyway, no big deal. So that's going to be a little bit boring as well. Just a few episodes of that, which I'll try to make exciting. Then we'll work on the Bassards here, which I already got them mounted, and it was just easier to use the existing kit part instead of actually recessing them with the board there. I just used that and hot glued them on, which you won't see them once you get the frosted domes on, and we will be good to go on that. But anyway, I got to figure out how to put the inner dome on that with the outer dome. But anyway, we'll figure it out. So anyway, working on that. Anyway, that's what I've got going on today. Wildcat's got its landing gears. Shuttle bay and bridge are done. We're going to get the shuttle bay, get it all buttoned up so we can get it inside the secondary hull. And we finished up the Apogee. So that's what I got going on today. So stay tuned for the next exciting episode.